Hey everyone, welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're taking some absolutely crucial local insights and turning them into your ultimate survival guide. We're talking about protecting your home's HVAC system against Indiana's totally relentless climate. Look, if you own a home around here, you already know the weather absolutely does not play fair, and it's your heating and cooling systems taking the brunt of it, right?
Let's just hook right into this. If you live here in Zionsville, those national average lifespans you always read about, they just don't apply to your equipment. We hear standard figures all the time, but we're going to explore exactly why your home is a major exception to the rule. Spoiler alert, your system is likely running over 200 days a year just to keep up. That's a massive workload.
So, here is our battle plan for today's explainer. Number 1, extreme climate challenges. 2, hidden enemies of your HVAC. 3, HVAC math and golden rules. 4, smart buying and upgrades. And 5, the 3-step service process. All right, diving right into Section 1, Extreme Climate Challenges, the Indiana roller coaster. Let's take a look at the actual battlefield your home is sitting on. Okay, picture this. Your furnace just quits on a freezing sub-20-degree night, or maybe worse, your AC literally dies during a 70% humidity July heat wave. These insane thermal swings are exactly what we call the Indiana roller coaster. In the summer, that heavy, wet air forces your AC to act like a giant dehumidifier. And if it can't keep up, well, that humidity actually promotes mold's growth right inside your ductwork. Yuck. Then winter hits. Those sub-20-degree nights trigger these brutal freeze-thaw cycles that can literally crack the copper refrigerant lines right on your outdoor units. It is just an exhausting environment for machinery. Moving right along to Section 2, Hidden Enemies of your HVAC, What's Lurking in Boone County. Now, what's really fascinating here is that the weather isn't the only thing attacking your comfort. We actually have to factor in some hyper-local enemies. For instance, the clay-heavy soil we have all over Boone County, it expands and contracts with moisture, and that shifts your foundation just enough to stress and tear your rigid ductwork connections apart. Suddenly, your expensive conditioned air is just leaking out into the crawl space. Plus, depending on your exact spot, you're dealing with heavy agricultural pollen blowing in and all those traffic particulates from Interstate 465. Those will clog up your air filters way faster than whatever standard timeline the manufacturer prints on the box. And honestly, the difference in our local architecture perfectly illustrates these hidden threats. Whether you're living in a century-old downtown home or a brand-new subdivision, your house has built-in vulnerabilities. Take those beautiful historic homes near Main Street. They often have undersized ductwork that was basically just retrofitted from old coal heating systems. On the flip side, if you're in a newer development like the Village of West Clay, rapid construction sometimes means you inherited builder-grade, undersized units that literally have to run constantly just to meet capacity. Both of these extremes put a drastic strain on your equipment. So, how exactly do you fight back when both the environment and the architecture are stacked against you? That brings us to Section 3. HVAC math and golden rules, your cheat codes. The absolute first essential cheat code you need to lock into your memory is the number 5,000. We call this the $5,000 rule, and it's going to save you from the sunk cost fallacy of home maintenance. Whenever you're staring down a repair bill, simply multiply the age of your system by the cost of that repair. If the number you get is over 5,000, replacing the whole unit makes way more economic sense than trying to fix it. Think about it like this. If you have a 15-year-old system and you're hit with a $400 repair, well, 15 times 400 is 6,000. The math is basically screaming at you to stop throwing good money at failing equipment. In a climate that stresses older units this hard, age and efficiency matter so much more than a quick Band-Aid repair. Next up, we have a really vital operational heuristic, the number 3. This is known as the 3-minute rule. Basically, after your AC shuts off, you absolutely must wait at least 3 minutes before trying to restart it. Why? Well, restarting too quickly forces your compressor to work against completely unbalanced high and low side pressure. It's kind of like trying to pedal a bicycle uphill in the highest gear from a dead stop. It puts massive strain on the motor and severely shortens its lifespan in our humid climate. Now, a lot of modern thermostats have a built-in delay to handle this automatically, but knowing this rule is crucial so you don't accidentally burn out your own system if you're manually playing with the power. Okay, so if the $5,000 rule is telling you it's officially time for a new unit, let's jump into Section 4, Smart Buying and Upgrades, Beating the Economics. Let's map out the ultimate buyer's advantage so you don't get taken for a ride. The absolute best times to buy a new HVAC system: October through November and March through April.
Purchasing in these off-peak, shoulder months helps you completely avoid the panic pricing of peak summer and deep winter. Demand drops, contractors offer much better pricing, and you're pretty much guaranteed faster scheduling. Plus, you get to test your heat before the deep freeze hits or your AC before the humidity rolls in, totally avoiding a sweaty or freezing emergency scenario. But you can't just slap a new metal box outside and call it a day. Indiana mechanical code actually requires what's called a manual J load calculation. It's a precise mathematical formula to ensure your equipment is perfectly sized to your home's exact square footage and layout. Also, you have got to match your indoor coils to your outdoor units. I'm serious, mismatched components will literally void your warranty and cause a massive 20 to 30% loss in efficiency. But hey, here's the silver lining. Upgrading to highly efficient systems that meet specific federal ratings can actually trigger some really substantial 2025 energy-efficient tax credits, putting real money right back in your pocket. Finally, look, even with all the math and meticulous maintenance in the world, sometimes the elements just win. When you need backup, let's look at Section 5, the 3-step service process, the professional backup plan.
Let's see how Reliance HVAC gets things back online. They basically streamline emergency resolution into a super simple, totally transparent 3-step process. Step 1 is dispatching with specific arrival windows, so you aren't just sitting around waiting all day. Step 2 is a really thorough diagnosis. They identify the root cause, not just the symptom, and then give you an upfront written estimate. And finally, Step 3 is the verified repair, where they actually test the airflow, the electrical draws, and temperatures against manufacturer specs before they even think about leaving.
What makes this process actually work in the real world is the infrastructure they have backing it up. Because they keep fully stocked trucks out on the road, their certified local technicians arrive totally ready to solve the problem on the very first visit. Doesn't matter if it's 2 p.m. on a sunny Tuesday or 2 a.m. on a frozen Sunday night, you're getting an immediate response from someone who actually lives right here in central Indiana. You're not getting bounced to some massive call center 3 states away where they're blindly guessing at your problem.
So, take a hard look at your own setup and ask yourself this final question. Is your HVAC actually surviving the climate, or is it just silently counting down to an incredibly expensive emergency? Really think about the age of your equipment, the specific quirks of your neighborhood's construction, and of course, that brutal Indiana weather. Remember to use the $5,000 rule and those other cheat codes we explored today before the next major temperature swing hits, because at the end of the day, knowledge is absolutely your best defense. Keep cool, stay warm, and we'll catch you on the next explainer.